Hi everyone, welcome to US Immigration Hub channel. If you are new to this channel, my name is Liman and I make videos for a family-based immigration to simplify the immigration process. If you watch my videos very carefully, you will make your immigration process less stressful. My channel has all the videos you need to complete your immigration process for immigrant and non-immigrant visas. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe, share, hit notification bell, and give us a big like so YouTube can share the video with more people like you. By doing this, we will help other people. First of all, I am not an attorney. I'm here to help you based on my personal immigration journey and also based on the information I have from USCIS, NVC, and consulate or embassies websites around the world. And also based on the feedback I have from my subscribers. So if you're ready, let's get started. In today's video, we are going to talk about how to file I-134, which is Declaration of Financial Support. This form just released a couple days ago. It will expire on November 30, 2026. Do not use the old version that expires in 2023. This is a new version. Just pay attention to expiration date. So here we're gonna start where it says start here. Type or print in a black ink. What does it mean? You can type and then when you print it, and if you want to add something with a black ink, you can do that. So you can type or print, doesn't matter, both works. So let's go to part one. Basis for filing. I'm filing this form on behalf of, if you are the beneficiary, you select the beneficiary. But if you are another individual who is the beneficiary, you select this one. For my case, I'm filing this form for my spouse as a fiance. So I will select another individual who is the beneficiary. So part two. Information about the beneficiary. Complete part two regardless of whether you are filing this form on behalf of yourself as the beneficiary or on behalf another individual who is the beneficiary. So regardless what you select right here, you're gonna file part two, information about the beneficiary. So let's go to question number one. Beneficiary current legal name. Do not provide nickname. One thing I want to mention right here before we do this. Copy this information from your passport and birth certificate. So family name, in my case, is Bushi. First name, in my case, is Fatima. And middle name, you can leave it blank or NA. Other name used, if you use any names, other names, you can enter them right here. But in my case, I put NA for family name, NA for first name, and middle name, NA for middle name as well. Date of birth, it must be in the format month and day and year. A lot of people make a mistake right here, and it's going to give you a headache. Pay attention. It must be in a format year, day, and month, year, and day. Month, day, and year. So January 1st, 1990. It's very, very confusing for a lot of people because they got used to international format, which is day, month, and year. Pay attention to this one, please. Number four, she's a female. Alien registration number. Yes, she does have it. Check your I-797 if you are if you filed I-129F, or you will have both of them. This is alien number right here for the beneficiary. See it, alien number, the beneficiary, you will have it right here. And also they gave the alien number for the petitioner as well. So if you're doing this for a K1 visa or K3 visa, they have alien number, and you must provide it right here. Hope I'm clearing this one because a lot of people miss this one. So place of birth. City or town, in my case, is Kinifra. State or province is Kinifra. Country, it's Morocco. Country of citizenship or nationality is Morocco. So material status, single, never married. If you are K1 visa, because you're gonna get married with fiance once you get to United States. But for K3 visa, you must put married because you already filed I-130 and you filed I-129F just to get K3 visa to get your spouse to United States and then do adjustment of status. We're still talking about part 2, information about the beneficiary. So the beneficiary mailing address, this is gonna be a foreign address. So in care of name, if any, Bushi Fatima is first and last name. Then you're gonna provide the street name and name, the street number and name. It's 100 Hay al Masira. Then city or town is Kinifra. Province is Kinifra. Postal code is 54,000 and the country is Morocco. So this is a foreign address because the beneficiary is still overseas at this point. And he will have interview. That's why we find this form to send it to the beneficiary to take it to the interview. Number 10, are the beneficiary mailing address and physical address are the same? In my case is yes. I selected yes. But if you selected no, you must provide the physical address on number 11. So from number 11 to the country, in care of name, street number and name, city or town, state, zip code or province postal code, and the country. So in my case, I selected yes, so I don't worry about the beneficiary physical address. So the beneficiary anticipated length of stay, because I have a lot of questions. A lot of people ask me question about this one. How I know from 2 or 2. So when you have interview, when the beneficiary have interview, just give it a couple weeks after the interview. So an example, if you have interview, an example in May, I would put like from June. I would put June the 6th, 2024, just an example. The return date, in my case, no end date, because once she comes to United States, she's gonna stay in United States until she gets her green card. So I do not just no end date. It's very simple. Just as I said, you just make sure when you will have interview and give it a couple weeks ahead of your interview, after your interview. We're still talking about the beneficiary. So the beneficiary financial information. Provide information about the beneficiary's income and assets. If you need additional space to complete any item number in this section, use the space provided in part 8, additional information. So here we're going to talk only about the beneficiary. Number 13 is going to be about beneficiary's income. Provide all the information requested in the table below about the beneficiary, all of the beneficiary dependents, and any other individual the beneficiary financially support. Do not include any individual named in part 3. Information about assets that are not based on employment should be added in the item number 16 and not in the item number 13. So basically number 13 is going to be just the income. In my case, the spouse, which is my fiance's spouse, her name is Bushi Fatima and date of birth is January the 1st, 1990. And the relationship to the beneficiary, you're gonna read this. It is very important. Type or print self if the beneficiary, if you are filing for yourself as the beneficiary, or beneficiary if someone is agreeing to support you in part 3. So form what applied for me is the beneficiary, the second statement. So the income is 0. Why? She does not work. She does not have no dependents. So the total just herself. And the total income, the system will not let you do anything right here. You must print it and then add it with a black ink right here and add 0 right here with a black ink. Do not use any other color. It must be a black ink. Let's go to number 14. Does any of the beneficiary's total income, including income from dependents and other individuals who contribute to the beneficiary income, excluding any individual named in Part 3, come from an illegal activity or source such as proceeds from illegal gambling or illegal drug sales. In my case, no. If you selected no, you don't have to worry about number 15. So I'm going to skip it and go to beneficiary's asset. We're still talking about information about the beneficiary. Now the assets. In the table below, provide the amount of assets available to the beneficiary for the expected period of his or her stay, excluding assets from any individual named in Part 3. So Sbushi Fatima, that's checking account. She has a $20,000 in her account. So, and the total here is going to populate right here, 20,000. Now we're going to go to Part 3, which is information about the individual agreeing to financially support the beneficiary, named in Part 2. So basically, that's the petitioner. If you are the beneficiary, you do not have to complete this part. Only the petitioner or the person agreeing to financially support the beneficiary, named in Part 2. So current legal name, do not provide nickname. So family name, it's Baker. Given name, Sliman. Middle name is Inay. Other name used, it's Inay for last name, Inay for first name, and Inay for middle name. So I never used any other names. So current mailing address, in care of name, last name and first name, which is Baker Sliman. Street number and name is 120 Robert Run. City or town is Indianapolis. Excuse me. State is Indiana. Zip code is 46231. And the country, of course, is USA or US. This is a United States address because the petitioner is in the United States. So Part 3, we're still talking about the person or individual agreeing to financially support the beneficiary named in Part 2. If your current mailing address is the same as your current physical address, in my case is yes. If you answer no, you can provide the physical address on number 5 right here. So now we're gonna go to other information. Date of birth of the petitioner or the person agreeing to support the beneficiary is January the 1st, 1980. Place of birth, it's Kinifra. State of province is Kinifra. Country, it's Morocco. Alien registration number, that's what confused everybody. You know, this is a petitioner and is a US citizen. How he has alien registration number? Yes, the petitioner, if you do not born in the United States, you have alien number. If you come to United States as immigrant, you have alien number and it's gonna stay with you until you die. I will show it to you right here. Even you got your citizenship naturalization certificate, you will have your A number right here. You see it? That's the one right here. Registration number, it's A12345678. It's right here. This is just for learning purposes. This fake one. So we go back, we put it right here. For USCIS online account, for K1 visa, I don't think so they have one, but for K3 visa, if you file I-134 online and USCIS give you I-797 that have an access account, you will have USCIS online account. Like this one right here, I will show it to you right here. It's right here, online access code. That's USCIS online account right here. Now, let's go to immigration status. What is your current immigration status? Provide documentation as provided in the instruction. If you are a US citizen, you must submit US naturalization certificate with this form. So US national, lawful permanent resident, A number, non-immigrant form I-94, arrival departure record number, and other. You're gonna select the one that applied for you. We're still talking about Part 3, information about the individual agreeing to financially support the beneficiary named in Part 2, employment information. employment status is employed, full-time, part-time, seasonal, self-employed. You're gonna check the one that applied for you. For me, is employed. If you indicated that you are employed in item number 11, provide the information requested in item numbers 12 to 13. So for me, I am currently employed as an engineer, and the name of employer is ATA, company called ATA. If you are self-employed, you can check this one. And now 13 is a current employer address. In my case, its street number and name is 200 Park 100. And the city or town is Indianapolis. State, right here, is Indiana right here. And zip code is 46231. 46254. And the country, of course, is US. Financial now information about the person agreeing to support the beneficiary. Provide information about your income and assets. If you need additional space to complete any item number in this section, use the space provided in part 8, additional information. So first we're going to talk about the income. Provide all the information requested in the table below about yourself, all of your dependents, and any other individual you financially support. If you have children right here, you must add them right here. Information about assets that are not based on employment should be added in item number 17. So they told you right here, only income. Do not add assets over here, only income. So full name, this is the person agreeing to financially support the beneficiary. In my case, it's me, petitioner, Baker Sliman. Date of birth is January 1st, 1980. Relationship to individual agreeing to financially support. They tell you a type or brand, self, for individual agreeing to financially support the beneficiary. Self, it's me. And income, how much you make a year. That's 70,000. And here you're gonna add how many dependents you have. In my case, I don't have no dependents, just me. And my spouse is coming, just me. So I make $70,000. I have only one dependent, just me. And then the total income is 70,000. So I'm sorry right here. Total number of dependents. You do not like count yourself, just 0. I'm sorry, right? You don't count yourself, just 0. So information about the individual agreeing to financially support the beneficiary, named in part 2. So we still talking about part 3. Does any of the income listed above come from an illegal activity or source, such as proceed from illegal gambling or illegal drug sales? In my case, is no. If you select no, you skip number 16 and go to number 17, assets. Fill out the table below regarding the asset available to you. Do not include any asset from individual named in part 2. Attach evidence showing you have this asset. Whatever you include right here, you must to provide evidence that goes with this form. So in my case, Baker Sliman, and I have a checking account. An example, I have $40,000 in my checking account. And also I have stocks and bonds, certificate or deposit. Baker Sliman, and I have 50,000. Just an example. And the total is going to be populated right here. So financial responsibility for other beneficiaries. This is very, very important. Pay attention to this one right here. Have you previously submitted a form I-134 on behalf of a person other than the beneficiary listed on this form I-134? In my case, is no, but if you selected yes, you must enter the information. You gotta remember, if you filled this form for somebody else, you must support that person for 5 years, not just 5 years, until that person becomes a US citizen. So let's go now to part, we're still talking about part 3. Intent to provide specific contribution to the beneficiary. For me, it's my spouse. I intend to provide a specific contribution to the beneficiary. So for me, it's my spouse. As a fiancé, I will provide everything for her. Part 4, statement, contact information, certification and signature of the beneficiary if filing Form I-134 on his or her own behalf. So if the beneficiary filed this form, he's gonna file this. He's gonna, check this beneficiary statement. If he did not file it, you keep this blank. You do not touch anything right here. But you must enter the beneficiary contact information. If you keep this blank right here, but this one, you must enter the beneficiary's contact information. If you have a beneficiary daytime telephone number, you can add it right here. The beneficiary mobile telephone number, in my case, is 211. This is just a fake number, just for learning purposes. And the beneficiary email address, you can add it right here as well. US consulate or embassy, they will contact the beneficiary with email address. Part 4, statement. We still talking about the statement, contact information, certification and signature of the beneficiary if filing Form I-134. So you don't have to sign it and you don't have to date it because the beneficiary did not file this form. So we're going to go to part 5. Statement, contact information, certification and signature of individual agreeing to financially support the beneficiary. That's what we're going to fill. So if you are filing Form I-134 on behalf of someone else, the beneficiary listed in part 2, complete and sign part 5. So we're going to do part 5. Select the box for either item A or B in item number 1. Applicable, select the box for item number 2. So in my case, I, as the individual agreeing to financially support the beneficiary, certify the following. I can read and understand English, and I have read and understand every question and instruction on this declaration and may answer to every question. If you did this, we did not use any interpreter and we did not use any prepare. So we're going to go to contact information of individual agreeing to financially support the beneficiary. So daytime telephone number and mobile phone number. I put just the mobile phone number 317-1111, and of course email address sbs@gmail.com. So we start talking about part 5, statement, contact information, certification and signature of individual agreeing to financially support the beneficiary. You gotta read this. Just I'm not gonna go, just wasting time here, but it is very important to read it because it's very important. So signature of individual agreeing to financially support the beneficiary, it is very, very important. Do not initial or write your full name right here. It must be dated first. Date of signature is 1/23/2024, and then print it and then sign it with a black ink. As I said, do not initial it or write your full name. It must be signed with a black ink once you print it. We did not use any prepare and interpreter. If you used any, in case, the same thing, you're gonna give the interpreter's full name, interpreter's mailing address. One thing I want to mention right here, this is very important, is this right here. You're gonna enter this certification. This, the most important, is the signature. It must be signed with a black ink once it printed, and date of signature, of course. Prepare full name is the same thing. If you use any, you must provide the information right here, and then for signature, it is very important. You must sign it with a black ink once you print it and date it. So if you have any other things that you want to add, you can add them in additional information. One thing I want to mention right here, if you any things that needs some kind of supporting details, you must submit it to this form. Example, your U.S. naturalization certificate, bank account, whatever the things that you tell them that you have, you must submit it to this form. So this is the end of this video. I hope you like it. If you do, please subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell. Thank you, and see you next video.